Hi, it's Toby Hazelwood here, and the thing I wanted to talk to you about today is kind of a bit of a three-step formula, if you like, for how to cope with times of adversity and how to work forwards when you're trying to progress towards something, when you're trying to change something, or perhaps when you're trying to achieve one of your goals. And I'd like to sort of encapsulate that in three key words, which are patience, persistence, and consistency, PPC. So I think I'm talking to you about this today mainly because I've experienced in my life recently a few radical changes. I've been working hard at a number of different goals for a while. I've been working hard to try and build up this community, put my work out there, the books I've written and the events that I hold. And I've been trying to get noticed, I guess, and trying to see some results from that. And it's actually now starting to happen. I'm starting to get some interest. And what I put that down to, and what I'm kind of keen to identify both for myself and to share with you now, is that I don't want to kind of lose the momentum. I don't want to lose out on what's got me here. And I've been reflecting on it, and I think the key things to getting there are patience, persistence, and consistency. So patience is absolutely vital, and if we're working through any time of difficulty, it can be really hard to be patient. You know, we want to see improvements, we want to feel better, we want to get on with our new lives rather than recovering from the old one, perhaps working through our divorce and dealing with the issues that throws up, or we want to get on and move out of our home and set up our new home. We want to kind of start again. And it's hard to have patience about that. Obviously we want to see results, but things do take a lot of time. And I think the thing that I'm gradually realising, and it's taken me till the age of 42 to realise this, is that actually no matter how quickly you want something, it makes no difference. And no matter how long you think something's going to take, it's more likely to take 2 or 3 times as long to achieve that or to get to that point than you actually think it will. It's hard to accept sometimes, but that's just a fact of life, I think. And so that's where persistency comes in, or being persistent. And when we're persistent with something, it means kind of keeping at the task, keeping at the thing, keeping going when we feel most like giving up. When we feel the setbacks and we don't get the results that we wanted, it's tempting sometimes to throw it all in and to give up. But being persistent is about carrying on regardless. It's about saying, I'm going to keep doing this, I'm going to keep doing it, I'm going to learn from my mistakes rather than be broken by them, and actually move forwards. And then hopefully by being persistent and keeping going and being patient as well, you're more likely to get what you ultimately want in the longer term. And the final strand then is consistency. So there's an expression, I don't want to butcher it, but if you're persistent you'll get something, if you're consistent you'll keep it. And being consistent is that process of kind of when you've identified something that works, or even when you haven't identified something that works but you know you're onto a good thing, or you know you need to get through it, is being consistent in your actions. And that means doing them regularly, doing what you need to do frequently, often, and with commitment, so that it's not just a case of I'll do it when I feel like it, or I'll get around to that, or I'll see how I feel tomorrow and maybe tackle it then. Being consistent is about consistently and repeatedly showing up to something, whether you feel like it or not. And sometimes you do feel like it, and it's great, because when you're consistent with something that you feel is giving you real benefit, like perhaps an exercise program at the gym, you're kind of finding it easier, you're finding yourself feeling fitter and stronger, you're seeing the inches drop off and clothes fit you better. It's really easy to then see why consistency is such a great thing and to kind of apply more of it in your life. So that's where consistency kind of comes in. And obviously it's easier when things are going well, but when things are going badly as well, it's just as important to be consistent. And I think the other interpretation that I think consistency applies within working through life after divorce, or in separation, or through any time of adversity and hardship is, you are having to deal with other people sometimes and deal with things that you don't particularly enjoy dealing with. But if you can be consistent with other people, so you can be calm, you can be measured in your responses, you can be fair in the way that you talk to other people, and deal with other people as you'd like to be dealt with yourself, treating others as you'd like to be treated. That's how consistency and being consistent as a person actually helps you get more of what you want out of life and more of what you deserve out of life than if you're kind of fickle or moody or changeable or unreliable. Those are the opposite traits to me of consistency in this context. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today, my 3-step formula, if you like. It's not much of a formula, I guess, but it's just 3 keywords to remember about how to act and how hopefully acting in those ways will give you what you want. So patience, accepting things take as long as they're going to take, and perhaps longer than you expected them or wanted them to. Persistency, being persistent and kind of keep going, keep applying yourself to the challenge no matter what happens, accepting the failures as learning opportunities rather than means of detracting from your efforts. And finally, consistency, keeping on doing it repeatedly, regularly, and being consistent as a person, sharing and treating others as you want to be treated, being, you know, a fair, equitable and reasonable person, and then expecting others to treat you in that way in return. So I hope those 3 things help you. I hope you're finding yourself in a decent place at the moment and you're coping with whatever adversity you're working through, or hopefully enjoying some successes as well. So that's it from me for today, and until next time, this is Toby Hazelwood saying goodbye. Thank you.